People often say that religion brings comfort, meaning, and purpose. It tells stories that claim to explain life, death, suffering, and morality. But beneath these stories, there's something else. Something less honest. Religion doesn't just offer hope. It sells illusions, and many of these illusions are sold as truth. Not just metaphorical truth, literal, unquestionable truth. One of the biggest lies religion tells is that it holds exclusive access to morality. That without sacred texts, people wouldn't know right from wrong. This idea suggests that human beings are inherently lost without divine instruction. But we now know that morality isn't unique to religious people. Secular societies are often just as, if not more, compassionate and fair. Countries like Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands rank among the most secular in the world, yet they consistently score highest in terms of happiness, education, healthcare, and overall well-being. Crime rates are lower. Corruption is lower. There are fewer people in prison. If religion were the source of morality, how do we explain that? The truth is, empathy and cooperation evolved because they helped humans survive. Long before organized religion, people understood concepts like fairness, loyalty, and harm. Even animals exhibit moral behaviors. Elephants grieve. Bonobos reconcile. Dogs comfort their owners when they're sad. Morality doesn't need a holy book. It's written in our biology. Another popular lie is that life without religion is meaningless. That without a god or a higher power, we're just drifting in a cold, indifferent universe. But meaning isn't something handed down from the sky. It's something we create. A painter doesn't wait for permission to see meaning in their work, they just paint. A parent doesn't need divine approval to love their child. Love, joy, purpose, these are things we experience directly. They're not gifts from above. They're part of being alive. Religion often promises eternal life and tells people not to worry about death. But this is one of its most manipulative lies. It turns death into a sales pitch. Believe, and you'll live forever. Doubt, and you'll suffer forever. That's not comfort. That's psychological blackmail. The fear of death is natural. But using that fear to control people, that's exploitation. And ironically, it often stops people from truly living. When you believe this life is just a test or a waiting room for something better, it's easy to waste it. Easy to endure suffering instead of challenging it. Easy to ignore injustice because everything will be fixed in the afterlife. But there's no evidence of any afterlife. There's just here, just now. One of the more dangerous lies religion tells is that faith is a virtue, that believing without evidence is noble, that questioning is wrong. But if we accept that standard, we make ourselves vulnerable to anything. A person can believe anything strongly: UFOs, conspiracy theories, cult leaders. Strength of belief doesn't equal truth. Faith discourages curiosity. It tells people that doubt is weakness. But in reality, doubt is how we grow. Every scientific breakthrough, every social movement, every ethical improvement started with someone asking, "Is this really true?" Religion also lies about science. It often claims to support it, but only when convenient. Otherwise, it undermines it. Evolution, for example, has overwhelming scientific support. Yet many religious groups still reject it. Not because the evidence isn't strong, but because it conflicts with their texts. That's not a search for truth. That's filtering facts to fit a story. When Galileo said the Earth revolved around the sun, the church put him on trial. They weren't defending truth. They were defending power. Even today, some religious leaders campaign against teaching evolution in schools. Not because the science is lacking, but because it threatens their authority. Religion tells people that prayer works, that if you ask sincerely, you'll get an answer. But every year, thousands of children die, despite the desperate prayers of their parents. The world's poorest people often pray the hardest and suffer the most. If prayer worked, hospitals would be empty. Natural disasters wouldn't kill believers. Bad people wouldn't prosper. But they do. Prayer offers the illusion of control. It makes people feel like they're doing something even when they're not. It can bring comfort, yes, But comfort isn't evidence. Another lie is that religious texts are perfect, that they're timeless, flawless, and beyond criticism. But a quick read shows otherwise. Many holy books promote violence, discrimination, and outdated laws. They reflect the times in which they were written, patriarchal, tribal, and ignorant of basic science. Yet millions still claim these books are the word of a perfect being. If a book tells you to kill someone for working on a certain day, or to stone women for not being virgins, is that wisdom, or a warning sign? Some argue those parts are just metaphors, or that they don't apply anymore. But you can't claim a book is eternal and then edit it when it's inconvenient. You can't say it's the foundation of morality and then ignore half of it. If morality has improved since the book was written, that means morality isn't coming from the book. Religion tells people they're broken, that they're born sinful, flawed, unworthy, and that salvation only comes through obedience. That's not love. That's emotional manipulation. No child should grow up believing they're unworthy of love unless they follow a strict set of rules. No adult should be told they deserve eternal punishment for having doubts or asking questions. And then there's the lie that religion brings peace, that it unites people. But history tells a different story. Religious conflict has fueled countless wars, persecutions, and genocides. From the Crusades to the Inquisition, from sectarian violence to modern terrorism, faith has often been used as a weapon. Not because religion is misunderstood, but because it divides the world into us and them. Believers and unbelievers. Saved and damned. It encourages loyalty to tribe over humanity. Peace comes from understanding and compromise. Religion, too often, promotes certainty and division. Many religious institutions are also obsessed with controlling personal behavior, especially around sex. They claim to defend family values, but they shame people for who they love. They tell people to feel guilty for natural desires. They interfere with people's choices about their own bodies. And they often protect their own from accountability. Scandals involving abuse and cover-ups aren't rare. They're systemic. When any institution places itself above criticism, corruption thrives. There's also a lie that religion and science can never conflict, that they answer different questions. But that only works if religion stays metaphorical. The moment it makes claims about the real world, it invites scrutiny. And many religious claims are empirical. They say the universe was created in 6 days, that humans began from a single couple, that miracles happen, that floods covered the earth. These are testable ideas, and they fail the test. To protect itself, religion often retreats into vagueness. But the moment you ask for evidence, it becomes uncomfortable. Another subtle lie is that religion is simply about personal belief. But religion is rarely just personal. It influences laws, education, healthcare, and public policy. It affects what's taught in schools, what rights people have, what healthcare they can access. It claims private belief but demands public power. And when challenged, it cries persecution. But criticism isn't persecution. Asking questions isn't hate. Accountability isn't oppression. There's also the idea that religion has always been a force for good, that without it, there would be no charity, no art, no music, no meaning. But charity doesn't require faith. Empathy doesn't require dogma. And much of the world's beauty has come not from religion, but from people. People struggling to understand life, to express emotion, to connect with others. Religion doesn't have a monopoly on beauty or kindness or awe. Religious belief is often treated as sacred, beyond criticism. But the truth doesn't need protection. It doesn't need rituals or threats or censorship. It stands on its own. Religion often hides behind tradition, behind culture, behind identity. But strip away the ceremony and you're left with ideas. Ideas that should be open to challenge like any other. It's also a lie that religion is harmless if it makes people feel good. That as long as someone finds comfort in it, it's fine. But false hope has consequences. Believing in faith healing instead of medicine can kill. Believing the end times are near can affect global policy. Believing certain groups are condemned can lead to hatred. Beliefs shape actions, and actions shape lives. Religion tells many lies. Some are small and personal, others are massive and systemic. But they all share something in common. They demand belief without question. They place authority above evidence. And they trade truth for comfort. The alternative isn't despair, it's clarity. It's understanding that we are part of something vast, not because someone told us so, but because we've discovered it. The stars, the atoms, the galaxies, the neurons, all of it is real, and all of it is knowable. We don't need sacred books to see wonder. We need curiosity. We don't need commandments to be good. We need compassion. This world, this life, it's not a test. It's the main event, and we owe it to ourselves to live it fully, honestly, and fearlessly. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.